Hey, your Second Child Wolf Core. A few minutes riffing on IT and IT security. Today looking at the rate of change and how you can do assessments, targeted assessments, very specific assessments to match how quickly your organization can change. Now, it just kind of occurred to me, I'm gonna have fun coming up with a clever YouTube headline for that one. But think about this. I don't know about you, but I can't stand it when there's too much on my to-do list. I don't know about you, but it drives me nuts when the business that's coming in exceeds my ability to execute on it. I don't know about you, but I don't like it when I got way too much to do and then someone's like, hey, got time for one more thing? It's a lot. There's a lot going on. So the tip for you is when you're building up to-do lists, not for yourself, but for other organizations, more specifically, when you're doing an assessment that hits on activities that other organizations, other teams are going to have to act on, don't fill their to-do list faster than they can execute on it. And if you match your findings to the rate of change, you can actually get greater levels of buy-in because people are not going to open it up, look and go, I'm out. I'm completely out. And this is important, right? Because organizations are losing tons of money due to security breaches. It's not about FUD, it's about survey after survey, report after report. I was just reading one from Guidance Software, and they found that about 1 in 5, they interviewed 300 organizations, 1 in 5 suffered a loss greater than $1 million last year. 1 in 5, greater than $1 million. That sucks. That really sucks. And it's painful. And so, of course, a lot of organizations are now creating security programs and advancing security programs. 24% of the survey response said they're actively rebuilding or building for the first time their security program. So when you go to build a security program, what do you do? Oh, I know. I'll assess against NIST 853B. That'll only take a few months and create a monstrous amount of work. Now, I'm not just saying that because NIST is horrible. NIST is kind of horrible. I'm not just saying that because there's other things out there. Other times organizations will go, oh, well, I'll do the CIS 20 because the critical security controls, there's only 20 of them. Nah, it can also be kind of bad. So let's take the CIS 20 simply because it's 20, and I like that nice round number. If you go ahead and assess all that, and let's say there's 10, 15 findings, right, per, now you got 200 findings. Who's going to have time to do that? And if it takes you months to have your IT team execute on those findings, by the time they get to month 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, do you think those findings from 10 months ago are still valid? No. No, they're not. So a better approach, if you're building a security program from scratch, is to take your controls. Again, I'm using the CIS 20 because there's 20 and it's easy math, not because that's the best one. Use the control framework that makes sense to you. Take your controls and divide them up. Let's say we're going to do 2 a month. 2 a month, all right? We're going to look at it, assess, figure out where we're at. Now, we come, here's 20 findings. Now, match those findings to the rate of work, the capability of your team to actually execute on that within the next month. We're not going to act on all 20 of those findings. Maybe 1 or 2, maybe a couple. Maybe we're just going to move the needle on the maturity from 0 to 1 as opposed to 0 to 2. On a scale of 1 to 5, right? CMMM with 5 is the best and 1 is, yeah. Maybe we're just going to move the needle a little bit. Figure out what that is. Prioritize and force rank and just give them enough to-dos to get done in a month. Next month, you reassess the previous 2 controls, the work that was done. And you assess forward the next 2 controls. And again, you go through and just give them enough work to get done. Just what they can actually execute on. Month after month, 2 controls a month, 20, that gives you 10 months worth of work. Each month looking at the work that was done before and planning the work forward. Think of this like Scrum, think of this like Agile, think of this like being kind to the IT people who have to actually do this work. By month 10, you've looked at all controls in your environment. The next 2 months, you do some retrospectives and you do some planning for the next year. That's a way to build a program that gets everything matured slightly. That's a way to build a program that creates visibility. And that's a way to build a program that creates a lot of buy-in without overworking or running into the ground those very key stakeholders, the people with their hands on the wheel, the people who can make the change that protect our environments. So, what do you think? pros, cons, any old war stories for me, comments, social media, hit me up. Thanks.